Dora. I don't know why I'm singing Dora right now.
What are we doing?
I don't know why I'm singing Dora this morning. I don't even have kids.
I'm still singing that. Cars and cats. Cars and cats. That's
Coffee
gonna be the
and
new
candy. Coffee and candy.
This episode of the Totally Spoiled podcast is brought to you by NyQuil and Sambucol, because that is what I am on right now. I am on that NyQuil Dayquil high.
Yeah, how's that going, buddy?
It's going really well. Like after this
that
podcast,
good.
I'm probably going to be like, did we even do a podcast?
What happened? What's my name?
Dora. Did I get it right that time? No? You're out on Dora? That's all it took?
Who's my partner in crime? And it's not you.
Oh, I know this. It's not Carmen Sandiego. It's, what's the kid's name? Oh, I know. The
You
guy.
mean the animal?
Oh, no, then I don't know. I thought it was the boy.
Wow!
Boy,
guys.
Diego.
No, that's her. I don't know if that's... Is that her friend or her boyfriend?
Why are you asking me these questions when you don't even know the answers?
Her partner in crime is Boots.
Oh, sure it is. Yeah, of course.
Oh, my God.
Sure, of course it is. All right, how about we get on track here, please? Can we please get on track
here? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
We've got Black Mirror, Bandersnatch. We got that to talk about.
No,
and what the actors said about it. I watched a video where they talked about actually making Bandersnatch.
I'm actually curious to hear about this one because we'll get into that. Let me hold my comments for right now.
I'm actually going to allow you to say something that has never been said on this podcast and will never be said again. I'll let you say that coming up.
Allowed. I love how you think I'm allowed to say or do certain things.
I'll allow you to.
I'm not easily tamed, but I'll let you think that.
We'll also talk about one thing that we all missed in Bird Box. This was another video that I watched, like 7 things that people missed in Bird Box. And I'll tell you about one thing that we both missed in Bird Box. Plus, a very totally random fact of the week coming up here on the Totally Spoiled podcast.
I'm about that.
It's Brian Fink, April. We are 1 week away from the return of This Is Us.
The excitement is so real, you have no idea. No idea.
I don't know how it got lost on some people of when the return was, because my mom was talking to me last week and she's like, "Oh, did you see This Is Us?" I'm like, it wasn't on. She's like, "No, there was a new episode on tonight." I'm like, "No, it starts on the 15th." She's like, "No, there was a new episode tonight." These are the arguments that I get into with my mom. I'm like, I'm telling you, I do a podcast about this,
but
it's
okay.
Not. I don't know if they showed like a recap. I don't know what she thought she saw.
Take whatever I did whenever I thought I watched a 2-hour episode.
2 hours.
Like, I need to talk to your mom because whatever she's on, I think she caught whatever I had.
I don't know, but no, it returns next Tuesday. Which was going to be also a very important day for me because that was going to be the day that I was bringing Tucker back to get his pin taken out.
I thought you were going to say this is when you're going to bring him into the podcast.
That's not. I mean, I could. Tucker could come in here. Aiden, not so much. Cars and cats. Cars and cats. No, but now I have to bring him back tomorrow. He's getting x-rays tomorrow morning.
So this
knocking on the fake wood again.
This is
the
good.
Pin is going to come out.
This is good.
And he's going to be only in there for 2 more weeks, and that's it. Then it's going to be smooth sailing.
Little baby.
And I'm going to be back to a normal life of having a stupid dirtbag kitten to deal with.
You sound so excited and full of love in a weird way.
I mean, come on. You've seen all the posts on Instagram. You've seen Aiden and Tucker's Instagram. You know that there's love. If there wasn't love, I would have kicked him out of the house a long time ago.
We'll call it love, sure.
Back to This Is Us. Did you see Chrissy Metz, what happened with her at the Golden Globes and calling Allison Brie a bitch?
What?
You didn't see this video?
No, because I was going to talk about the Golden Globes, about who that girl was with Kevin and...
That's his wife.
I was testing you. I knew that.
Of course you did.
I knew that. There goes my brain. All shattered to the floor. It's like that Confessions video by Usher. The glass just shattered.
That's his wife. And I'm not sure which video you're talking about of them in the limo.
I'm done.
They were in the limo, and then they're also on the red carpet. This was amazing.
The red carpet one's the one I'm talking
about. When he fixes her dress.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It's like, dude, can you leave a little for us normal humans?
That gives me. I still have faith for one day.
That's
one
his wife.
Day.
But in the Facebook Live beforehand for the Golden Globes, they're interviewing Chrissy Metz, and they're getting ready to throw it to Alison Brie. And the host turned to Chrissy Metz and go, "Do you know someone named Alison Brie?" And she's like, "Do I know her?" And they go, "All right, we're throwing it to Alison Brie," and they pan away, but the mics are still on, and you hear Chrissy Metz go, "I said, do I know her? Because she's such a bitch." But she doesn't. She goes, "Bit, and it kind of tapers off as she's saying it.
No.
Yeah, you got to watch the video. So, everybody is saying that she said she's such a bitch. She said that, no, I love Alison Brie. I said she's such a babe. But if you listen to it, it sounds like "b" instead of "bay." You got to go back and watch it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
this has got to be on YouTube, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And I've got a blog for it up at 933flz.com.
Okay,
Feel free to give me a click on that. All right, let's do some spoiling.
I support.
At Brian Fink, at April on air. Thank you so much for following and subscribing to the Total. Why? That's like every single week.
El podcast que él no puede hablar ni en English ni en Spanish. Should we try a different language? I mean, I'm okay with that. This could be fun.
Like, I feel like this is literally every week that I
It's the
stumble over the name of the freaking show.
Hey, say it with me. Right
Totally
here.
Spoiled Podcast. You know what it is?
Very good.
I think what it is that my brain is moving too fast and my mouth isn't moving fast enough.
It's not keeping up.
So when I say thank you for following and subscribing to the Totally Spoiled Podcast, I'm already thinking of the next thing that we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. So I'm like.
So this is the fun part. Are you explaining it for yourself, or are you explaining it for? Yeah, no, okay.
All right.
Let's
take this moment because this is going to be a very good moment for you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to allow you to say something that you've been wanting to say, that you said in text to me, that you can say to me. And
I told you so. Thank you. And look. I'm not the this rub it in your face. I told you so kind of person.
Oh, no, go ahead, rub it in my face.
Okay,
right there.
Just right here. Yep, yeah, got it. All spots.
My skin's dry up there.
Feel my hands. It's all right. So makes all the sense. So it's not my style to be that person because I hate when it's done to me.
Get it out.
But now, do you understand the position I was in? Not once, not twice. 3 times. So
Black Mirror Bandersnatch. You started watching it like before New Year's, right? Was it before New Year's? I think that we were planning on watching it.
I think it was shortly after Christmas.
Okay.
It was roughly 2 weeks ago. I'd given this thing an attempt several times.
And the text that I got from April was, I have been watching this stupid movie for 3 hours, and I feel like I'm in a loop. And I'm like, what do you... Now, if you don't know what Bandersnatch is, it's a choose-your-own-adventure movie.
No, it's the don't worry about it. It's not worth it is what it is.
Wow. That escalated very quickly.
I'm very understanding and open-minded to different movies or genres, even if I don't like it. But this... I don't have words.
I can tell.
How many times do I not have words?
I can tell.
Not
so she texted me that. I'm like, come on, you're being dramatic. She's like, no, I've given up. I'm like, you have to watch because we're going to talk about it. You have to watch. She's like, all right, I'll try again. Mm-hmm. And then you tried again. And I mean, I think you did better on the second time, didn't you?
I did better, but that second time is when I told you that I got through like 1/4 of it. Because to be fair, Brian and I were texting the whole first hour of me watching it.
Like, who does that? I go, put down the cereal. Put down the cereal. I
didn't have the cereal this time. I didn't have like other distractions. I was just talking to you about it without realizing that I had to be interactive, talk to you, watch it.
So you didn't know that it was interactive?
first going into it, no, I didn't.
Gotcha.
And then I was like, oh, wait, what's going on? And then I thought it was like some setting with the TV, because actually a little later on, my TV asked me, are you watching?
Oh, my God. Just stop.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I see where this is going. But then when I saw the same scene repeat 4 times, I was like, okay, what the actual hell is going on? Then I was like, I need to give this a shot. Second time is when I told you. And that first time, I was 3 hours in. 3 hours in. And on Netflix, there's an option where you can pause and it shows you the progression of it. I don't think I even got through 10% of it. 3 hours, guys. 3 hours.
Yeah, honestly. So I watched it last night. I don't know.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I think so.
This is great.
I don't know. Great. I don't know how long it took me. I think it took me about 2 hours. I don't know what I watched. I don't know what I watched last night. Now, granted, I'm also on NyQuil and everything and trying to keep up, but at least I knew that it was Choose Your Own Adventure. Did you ever read the Choose Your Own Adventure books when you were growing up?
I don't think so.
Oh, you should.
No.
They are so cool. Because as you're reading, it says, like, whatever you choose, you skip to the page. So you skip ahead, and then you go back, just like he was doing. Where his dad was talking about how you're always flipping through it. You skip ahead and you skip back.
I feel like this is a lot more entertaining if you're reading than actually watching a movie. I don't know about you, but when I choose to watch a movie or watch TV, it's like de-stress, relax, me time. I don't want to be freaking telling you what's next.
But the cool thing about it was
the concept's cool. I'll give
you
you that.
Feel like you're a part of it. Because, like, for example, you choose his music that he's listening to on the bus, and then it remembers your choice, like, through the entire thing. Like, I chose Frosties. I don't know if you chose Frosties.
I chose Frosties.
And then it remembers that because later on when he's popping the VCR tape in, it shows you a commercial for Frosties.
Yeah.
I mean, that's badass.
Hey, I'll give it to the writer, to the producer, whoever deserves the credit. The concept was cool. I think it could have been done better though. Or let's just say go ahead and progress with the options chosen by the viewer. Not have it be where, oh, this isn't the option it should have been, so let's re-freaking wind you.
But that's the way it is.
4 hours in, it's like, what the hell am I doing? Makes you want to question life and what is going on. I'm like, I'm done.
When I was growing up, there was a video game, I want to say it was called Dragon's Lair, and it was a choose your own adventure. And, like, you would, like...
You said book or game?
No, it was a game. It was a video game. And you would, like, hit the joystick a certain way, and it would do it, and if it was the wrong way, you would die. I mean, that's the way it is. So it's kind of like the movie where, like...
But you would die. It's not like it was another option. I mean, if you...
But you would have to start over, just like in this. Like, for example...
But aren't those, like, Mario Party games or whatnot, too? Like, you step on the, like, the spiked shell and
you die.
You die.
Yeah.
You just start
but this is kind of like the first... like, one of the first choices, I made the wrong decision. Did you choose for him to accept the offer or for him to say no when he was offered to write the
I did accept
game?
The offer.
I did, too, and it ended.
And
it starts over.
Yep.
But I mean, it was a cool concept until it got, like, really far into it, and you start choosing the wrong stuff, and then you're in this, like, rabbit hole where you're like, wait,
it's
how
like
far
it's like a vortex you're put in. It's like you're being sucked in and out constantly, and you don't know how to react.
Yeah, there were...
At least that was me. And then eventually, my body, I think, shut down and gave up, and I passed out.
There were a couple of parts where I didn't know, because I was like, I chose that one, so I shouldn't choose this one. Like the Netflix, when it says to choose Netflix or one of the other ones, and I'm like, wait, I chose Netflix, but do I choose Netflix and continue and tell him more this time, or I mean, it was like I wrote down some of the choices that I chose for him not to talk to the dad, to kind of just go away from that.
Yeah, I did that one first instead of yell at him.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Oh wait, I did choose for him to yell. Doesn't he yell like fuck off or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I chose that too, and he was like, I'm not controlling myself. Like I don't know.
That was one option. Again, I did spend 10 hours watching this, and I still don't think I'm done. Just saying. But that was one option. I think the other one where I chose both of the options was spill the coffee on the computer.
Or destroy the
computer. I still don't know or remember which one was the right option.
I don't know either. Because
I have no idea.
I think I chose both options of that too when it got to the girl remaking the game and those options came up and I was like, wait, did I choose spill the coffee or destroy the... I don't know. But I also chose from the take the acid. Did you choose from the take the acid with Colin? When they're in the room and Colin brings him back to his...
Yes, or if Colin does it.
No. That's when they're jumping off the balcony.
Did Colin die?
I don't think... See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't think he did in... I think there's just multiple timelines going on.
So confusing.
Because Colin is in the office when the office manager, calls and gets him on the phone. Colin is there. So I don't think he...
But was that a flashback or that
No,
was
I think
forward?
That was moving forward. And he explains that when he's working on his games that he takes his phone off the hook. That's why they couldn't get a hold of him. But I chose for Colin to jump.
I think my first one was him. And then the second one was Colin. And then as it kept progressing, there was some references to Colin dying. I don't remember if it was from the therapist or someone. Like all of it was like a blur.
You just get into this loop where you're
like, it's a vortex.
What is...
You're sucked
because
in. At
one point I didn't know where I was.
Nope.
And how far back. It was great. I regretted chopping up the dad. I chose that first, and I regretted it because they show you him starting to chop him up, and I'm like, I instantly regretted that.
Next.
I instantly regretted that.
Yeah, no.
But then I did choose for him to bury him, and then Colin comes over, but I don't know if Colin couldn't have died because he comes over. And you choose whether to let him leave or not. I chose to let him leave. And then he gets arrested.
Sorry.
I'm literally watching this going, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
I saw credits a couple of times, so I think I finished. But
okay, maybe you did, because here's this. So one of my friends watched it too, because again, I didn't make it till the very end. Towards the very end, there's an option where the writer of the show from Netflix can interact
really
with the main character. So then you didn't make it to the very end.
Well, okay. So I saw one of those. So there's a lot of endings to this.
Okay.
Which I made it to the end, one ending, because it popped up to start watching Black Mirror the normal series. So I made it to the end. Now, I did see that one. That one is where he's fighting with the therapist. And you
again?
And you choose... Well, yeah. Well, again... What?
He's constantly fighting
with the
fighting
therapist. With the... No, but they get up and you choose whether to jump out the window or to fight her.
But wait,
did you not get to that?
No, that's towards the beginning.
No,
right?
That's not that was towards the beginning for you? See, this is what's so crazy.
That was... Okay, that episode that I told you that I was about 3 hours in, that scene happened about 2 hours in.
So that's what's so crazy is it's a different experience for everybody.
Right now, I'm so confused.
But it's a different experience because it all depends on which way you choose to go. That you're going to see it at different parts of when I'm going to see it. But that ending, so the choice is to jump out the window or to fight the therapist. If you choose to jump out the window,
which is what
they stop it, and the director comes in and she's like, "What are you doing? You're not. There's no window." And he's like, "No, I'm jumping out the window." And she's like, "No, there's no window to jump out. You're supposed to fight the therapist." And she's like, "Can we get a medic on?" Yeah. He's staying in character, and it shows everything
behind
being filmed. Yeah, that's one of the...
See, in a weird, twisted way, it makes me want to watch this again to get to the ending. Because I'm the kind of person, I think you know this from me, when I start something, I need to end it. So, the fact that I haven't ended it is driving me crazy. But the fact of me losing 10 more hours of my life almost seems a little bit more valuable. So I'm just F it, whatever. But Jeez, this is probably the most confusing, stressful shows, movies, television thing I have ever watched in my life. Again, concept is cool, different, whatever. Kudos to you. I think I'm done.
I'll tell you how to, which I'd imagine is going to be the same for you. But when you get to the part where the therapist is like, wouldn't you want more adventure in your life? And it's like, yeah or fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. Choose fuck yeah. Uh-huh. And then they start fighting. And then you get to choose the dad comes in. And you get to choose whether to karate chop the dad or kick him in the nuts. You didn't see any of this?
Oh my God, no.
So this is one of the end. This is what finally ended it for me. I karate chopped the dad. And it wraps it up and ends it. So there you go. So if you get to that part, choose those options and you'll wrap it.
And I'll be done.
And one of the endings. One of the
Maybe.
endings. So Katie tweeted me that she was rewinding and starting over because she had no idea what the F she was watching or doing the entire time, which sounds like you.
Sounds about right.
I got caught.
Sounds about right.
I paused it by mistake once, and it happened to be right where you get to choose something. And when I started it again, it had rewinded it a little bit so that you get to choose again.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I kind of had a similar experience, and I don't know if it's because I chose the wrong option, so it was rewinding me to then choose the right option. But there was one, I wish I could remember. I think it was the one where it was like, take the pills or flush them.
No, either flush them or throw them out. Those are the two options. Flush them or throw them out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I chose throw them out.
I think I did flush them or something.
See, this is what's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But this is what's so cool about it. As much as I hated it, because literally, for example, Julie said it felt like it was never going to end. Which,
yes, it never ended.
That's the way it felt for
ends.
me. I was in it going, God. And what sucked was if you chose the wrong way and you knew you chose the wrong way, you had to sit through it and wait for everything to come back around. You couldn't
That's exactly
what
I'm
out
getting
of this rabbit hole.
So you experienced that too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I totally felt like it was going to end.
And I think it was what you said, the flush the pills or throw them away. And I did flush, and it kept progressing. But about 2 minutes in, it did a bloop, rewinded back, and it made me go through seeing all the scenes of the very beginning, from him walking down into the kitchen to him being on the bus and playing the music to, God, it went through everything, and it went through it fast.
But that was the point of it. Every time you would make a wrong decision, it would kind of start back at the beginning, but keep you up on what's going on.
Can I just say this is a test taker's worst nightmare, because I am a horrible test taker. Give me assignments, give me projects. I got you. The ACT, that's exactly what I felt like. I was sitting in a freaking classroom going through this and getting all the wrong answers. Clicking A when I should have been clicking B and C. I was done. It was literally horrible.
Yeah, Connor always listens to the Totally Spoiled podcast, said that.
Thank you, Connor.
He had the realest comment ever, because he texted me. He's like, you guys need to talk about Bandersnatch. I'm like, we were gonna, but we just didn't get it. You got caught in the rabbit hole, and he said it's a rabbit hole that you just get lost down, which it totally is.
But in a weird way, it sucks you in. Why the hell did I spend 10 hours watching this? After the first time, I was like, F this. Here I go again. Watch it a second. F this. Here I go again. Third time.
So just imagine, I saw this interview with the actors, and I want to say either the producer, the director, writer, she was somebody. Uh-huh. And it was talking about, the actors had such a hard time with it, because one point they're filming their character in one timeline, at another point they're filming in another time. They didn't even know where they were in the story, because they had to film all of this stuff.
Because they have to film all the options that you could possibly select.
Could you imagine putting this together?
I feel bad for the producer who had to put this together.
Yeah, I think it was either the producer or the director or somebody was saying that they had the storyboard up and they tried going by storyboard and it was just impossible. They had to find a different way to do it.
I would say I can't picture that. Because I've been on set for stuff before. Just kind of observation. And I know how certain things are laid out. So I'm like trying to picture that. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
I couldn't even imagine. But it's kind of like his board when he was making the Bandersnatch game, how it was all over the place. I imagine that that's the way it would be like in real life, trying to keep track of all the endings and possibilities and making sure that everything is correct. I mean, it's an incredible concept.
It is. I'll give it to them for that, but incredibly difficult, especially if your patience is on the
yeah. Wait, I'm with you.
Lower end.
I'm with you because, like I said, I mean, I'd get into a lot of it and I'd be like, oh, come on, and then I had no idea. Like it would flash back to that Netflix choice, or it'd flash back to either PAC or PAXS. And I was like, wait, I chose that before. Do I choose that? You need to go back and read like a choose your own adventure book. It's a lot of fun to read.
See, that I would be willing to do, like I said, to go and actually read a book, same concept, opposed to going and seeing a film of this, I feel would be a totally different experience.
Like I said,
I could do that.
As much as I hated different parts of it, and I didn't I think the story just got lost because you were so lost in the choices that I think it was just a weird storyline. So I wasn't a big fan of that, but I did really like feeling like I was part of the movie.
Can I say this? I think it could have possibly been a better experience if it was half the length.
Yeah, but it was only as long as it was because of your choices.
But remember... Espérate.
You're the only one that's guilty of it.
No. If you go and click, like you're logging onto Netflix, it gives you synopsises, ratings, like length, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Just because. It says on there an hour and a half. Now, I'm trying to think if it said approximately or if it was just an hour and a half. Not quite sure how that works. But if it would have been condensed, this is where the producer comes into play and what their storyline and what they're doing. If it would have been whatever they were trying to achieve, just half of that. Those with short attention spans and where their patient isn't quite fully there 100%, I would have been able to do that. It was way too spread out, way too long.
I think I need to go back.
Too many options.
I think I need to figure out and do research about the right choices to make. And so I do that every time and see what the actual story is to make it to the end in real time. So I'm not sitting there going, made the wrong decision again.
Yeah, let's just get me through it.
Yeah, yeah, and just
get me through it.
But to also see like what the full story is, because I don't know if he actually ended up making the video game and got arrested afterwards, or did he not make it? Because that was one of the first wrong choices. Was he made it? It got like destroyed in reviews, and he's like, all right, I gotta start again. I mean, I just want to kind of see what the full real story is of it.
And obviously, like the film itself pretty much is revolving around this like video game and the whole concept of it. But what was really interesting to me as well is the role the psychologist and him going to his sessions played in the whole film. And I was going to ask you this, like what you thought about it, or if it had much of any significance, like your opinion on it. So was the whole reason he was going to therapy in the first place was about being messed up about him thinking he killed his mom?
Absolutely.
That's what it was, right?
But I don't know if it was a real timeline that his dad was watching him the entire time and he was part of some experiment. I don't know if that was the real timeline or if that was a fake timeline.
I don't know. That's a good question. I was trying to really understand in depth the relationship between him and his dad, and even the tie-in with the teddy bear.
With
like
the rabbit.
Yeah. The rabbit
I
teddy
don't
bear.
know. Like, there was so much that I don't know what was real and what wasn't. Like, his dad taking the rabbit and hiding it.
Right.
And then him finding...
And was that intentional, or is like my mind just going way too far off? Like, was that intentional on him hiding it, so therefore
the mother would die?
The mother would die, so him... Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I want to, like, find out what the right choices are and kind of see the movie all the way through. Not to skip back to last week's episode of the Totally Spoiled podcast, but one thing we missed in Bird Box that we didn't bring up that I saw on the YouTube that I can't believe I didn't notice it. So you remember the couple that when she gets into the house, one of the couples leaves to go find their children. They like get a call from their kid, and the kid is like crying, and they're like, "We have to go find our children." And he's like, "If you go out there, you're dead."
And the crazy older man that lost his wife because she walked into the flaming cars was like, "Did you just see what happened to my wife?"
And they end up leaving.
Right.
So when they're driving to the supermarket and they're hitting speed bumps, and it flashes to the outside of the car, you see like two dead bodies laying there. Those are the couple. That's the husband and wife, because they have the same clothes on. She has like this lace thing that's got a little lace under it. He's wearing the same clothes. That's the couple. So it kind of ties up the end of what happened to that couple when they left the house. They're dead. But that was something that I completely missed. It was in this video that I saw of the 7 things that a lot of people might have missed in Bird Box.
I totally didn't catch that. What were other things? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was like a lot of the different talking about the demon, talking about like it was just kind of stuff that we touched on.
Yeah.
This was kind of like one of the only things that I was like, whoa, I didn't catch that.
And I'll say this much. We talked about this. I didn't realize until I read the synopsis on what this whole thing was. I didn't know what was killing the people until it was like, I called it this shade, because you didn't really see a face to any of it. At least I never did. I just saw a big wave of dark shadow. And the first time I really fully noticed it is when the guy that was tied down on the chair, the office,
trying to watch the
security cameras, and you just see the...
Right.
So that's when I first noticed, because when Sandra Bullock, I'm forgetting her character name, when her sister died, or the whole vehicle situation, leaving the hospital, I didn't realize what it was that turned her into just losing it, because I didn't see that she saw that shadow.
But you never see what it is.
Well, you do. I'm trying to think of Tom. When he turned... He saw it.
Yeah, but they never show it. They never show what the demon is.
So the only time we saw it was in the security cameras?
You didn't even see it then.
You saw the shadow.
Yeah, but that's really it.
But that's just the shadow. There's something behind it.
Yeah, so
the only people that can really see it, which we knew this already, were those that already were bad. Like the guy that was like piercing the old lady's eyes open.
Right.
So the pictures he was drawing, he was able to draw those because he can see it and still survive. So it was his...
Well, there's actually... And this video actually touches on that, what those pictures were, whether he had multiple personalities maybe and he was seeing different things, or if they were... Because he was talking about being in the psycho ward, maybe it was like different demons that they... like that he had been told of what they were. Actually,
interesting.
So that when I forget his name. When he's the one that was writing the book that ends up dying in the supermarket, the black guy.
Tom?
No. Charlie. Charlie's
yes.
talking about the different demons that it could be from mythology, and one of those drawings looks like one of those demons. So they never show what the actual demon is, but in this video, they filmed with the demon in it. There was supposed to be a scene where Sandra Bullock's character sees the demon in a nightmare, and they took it out because when they screened it, a lot of people thought it was funny, and it didn't really hold to this scary character. And they showed the prosthetic of what it looked like, and I'm kind of happy they didn't show it.
Really?
But there was a scene that we were supposed to see what the demon was, and they took it out. So yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Absolutely. So here's what I want to do. I want to end every show with a totally random fact of the week.
Oh, this will be fun. Okay, it's your turn this week.
I don't know if you saw this last Friday, but did you see what Pottermore tweeted out, the official account for Pottermore, which is with Harry Potter?
Uh-huh.
This was the most random thing ever. And it made the internet break because all the Harry Potter fans were like, why did we need to know this? The official Pottermore account tweeted out, Hogwarts didn't always have bathrooms. Before adapting Muggle plumbing methods in the 18th century, witches and wizards simply relieved themselves wherever they stood and then vanished the evidence.
What?
Swear to God. This was an official tweet from Pottermore.
I'm taking your book.
Saying that they would go to the bathroom wherever they were before they had Muggle plumbing and then just cast the spell to make it vanish.
To make it poof. So would it vanish the actual byproduct and the smell?
The evidence.
Is that a fair question to ask?
The evidence would be gone. Can you believe that this was an official tweet?
Could you imagine if this was society, actually?
I would love it. Like being able to go to the bathroom wherever you want and then just go.
Okay, so you would love it. You're going to be walking down the halls of 4002 West Gandy Boulevard. We already have weirdos here, and you just see them pull down the pants.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, okay. Think twice about your answer.
Maybe if it was like just me in my production room and I'm able to go to the bathroom and then just vanish it, that would be awesome to not have to worry about anything.
This explains a lot about you. On
that note, at April on air, love you so much for being a part of the Totally Spoiled podcast. Vanish.
Bye.
Oh my God. I swear to God, that was an